This might be the most non Wes Anderson movie ever made. Does that make sense? Chase Lee Hockey here with the Blue Futon reviewing The Legend of Ochi. What's it about? Pretty simple premise. We're in the Nordic countries of Europe. Finland, Norway, Sweden, don't know, but it's in one of them. However, we're in a fantasy land where these, I want to call them gorilla monsters, if you want to put it that way, that live in the forest, and Willem Dafoe is training these boys to hunt these suckers down. But there's one girl who's like, no, 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 no. Well, actually, first she gets bitten, and then she's like, I'm going to save you, and go into the woods, finds her mother, and just shenanigans ensues in this weird PG movie. This is on the verge of PG-13. It's an A24 film, and did I like it? It's a weird one, but it had enough charm that I was completely entertained for the whole hour and a half. Yes, is it kind of subtle at the end where it just kind of subtly stops and you're wanting a little bit more meat for this bone to get to know the connection between the humans and the Ochi? Sure, but watching Willem Dafoe with his crazy costumes and antics really make the story fun. So, positive about this movie is the look of being in this frosty, wet Nordic country, and I really dig that style of filmmaking and how it looked, and just the little subtleties of them having this huge truck going through gates, and just silliness. This is straight up like a PG, Wes Anderson film, like not Bottle Rockets. That's a line, more like Moon. Was it Moonshine? No. What's it called, Chase? You idiot. Moon something. Moonrise Kingdom, you idiot. And then also his other one, like Fantastic Mr. Fox, even though that's more in the Isle of Dogs. So he has that type of humor, and that's how this film is shot. Yes, the film doesn't have the weird, Wes Anderson, doot kind of camera movements, but you can kind of tell there was some inspiration when it is dealing with that. The acting pretty good, even though the main actors are the girl, Finn Wolfhard, Willem Dafoe, Emily Watson, and that's all you really get. Yes, there are some background characters, but you're really not going to get to know them whatsoever. Small antics like being in the grocery store, that grocery store scene was such Wes Anderson. I know that's I'm repeating myself, but you just feel, and that's kind of unfair to filmmakers that want to make this kind of movie. But Wes Anderson has done it so many times, like with Bottle Rocket, Royal Tenenbaums, the new one, Ponzi Scheme. What else did he make? He's made a bunch of them. Darjeeling Limited. I already said Bottle Rocket. But you know what I'm getting at, right? What's this more? Grand Budapest Hotel, and the last one he just made with Scarlett Johansson and Jason Schwartzman being the main two characters. So yeah, you're going to get that style of filmmaking with this movie, and like I said, very low count when it comes to the actors. The look I will enjoy. The practical effects I really did enjoy as well, because you could tell they're animatronics and are puppetry. And getting that, you actually feel like these animals are real and interacting with these humans. I do wish, though, the story was a little bit more fleshed out when it came to, who they are, how are we in this land. Yes, I also talk about werewolves and dragons in a little bit of this movie, but it's very minimal in the backstory of this. I can see how some people might be disappointed because it is a very simplistic plot that, I wouldn't say it goes anywhere, but it's just more like a kid-friendly adventure that really has very little dialogue moments. And with that dialogue moments, I think there might be a sound issue, because the girl, whenever she's talking, Helena, I think that's her name in real life, sometimes you're like, what is she saying? I don't know if this sound design is really working for what it was trying to do overall. But yeah, the look of the movie, the acting, just how it's shot, the directing, it's just fun overall. The practical effects, the craziness, we're in this wonderful fantasy world, and it's really enjoyable. However, I do think the writing is a little bit weak. Some of the sound design is a little bit off. And I just see how some people might expect a little bit more of this movie, and when they leave the theater, I might just be like, oh, that was a fine adventure movie for kids. So The Legend of Ochi will receive a 3.5 out of 5 Futons, which equals that 70%. We'll see the critics' news scores gave this one. Critics, 80% with 91 of them. Audience score, there we go, 54% with over 250. Critic consensus, a marvel of state-of-the-art puppetry and visual effect. The Legend of Ochi elevates its predictable story with enchanting presentation. Oh, that burp is disgusting. My bad. Anyway, 54, 80, 70. Chase out here at the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. One of these Bhutontopia, you Bluetonians. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Watch this tape tomorrow. We can talk about the near from now. Every single freaking one of you. Peace and love. Peace and love. And yeah, if you find Ochi, don't let them bite you, because you might lose an arm, but they are kind of cute.